and welcome to the Point here on the Tarleton Sports Network. I'm Byron Anderson, and today's guest on To the Point will be the middle infielder, mostly shortstop here as of late, Bryan Aguilar for your Tarleton State Texans baseball team, who have won 6 of their last 9 games, including their last 2 Western Athletic Conference series over the last 2 weekends. And last week, Bryan was the Western Athletic Conference Hitter of the Week. Bryan joins us today. He has a 286 average on the season, a couple of home runs, 14 RBIs, and he has been playing shortstop really well for the Texans. Bryan, thank you for joining us here today, buddy. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate y'all having me. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Let's start it off with you getting here, because you had a little ways before you could actually start this season, had a special waiver that went through for you. That got you in. I think it was 13 games in before you actually got to play this year. Can you just talk about how you got to Tarleton State University and what it was like to have to kind of wait a couple extra games? I know you went to Hill Community College before you went out to Marshall, and then you came here. Tell us about your journey to get to Tarleton State University.
Shoot. First to start, my 2 years at Hill were amazing. Couldn't have been around a better group of guys. I love it, and got a good bunch of guys that are here as well. They're from that group, and so I spent 2 years at Hill. Went on to Marshall, and I got a little homesick. Had to come back to say, and throughout the process, and it just kind of figured itself out, without me even really trying. I had some guys here, and here I am.
Well, it makes it a lot easier when you can play baseball. There's always a place for you to go, and you've certainly shown this year that you can do that. Let's talk about when you got here. You wear number 23. That's Michael Jordan's number. Did you get to pick that out, or was that given to you?
I actually didn't get to choose just because, like you said, I missed the first quite a bit portion of the season in the beginning. And, I was given that number. I like it.
Yeah, no, if you're given that number, everybody I've ever talked to, if you get that one, there's a reason. And it's usually because you're a pretty good player. They're not just going to give that to, the guy in the next cubicle over or whatever. Let's talk a little bit about your Hitter of the Week award last week. You got it as you had a great series. It started that week at TCU, and then it carried on to Seattle U, where you guys took 3 of 4 up there. You started playing some second base, I think is kind of where you started out when you first started here at Tarleton, when you got to play those games, and then you moved over to shortstop. How much has it helped you, settling in to a position? Because now it seems like you're kind of locked in at shortstop. Does that help you at the plate as well, and kind of maybe help lead to that Western Athletic Conference Hitter of the Week?
For sure. I feel like I can get on to a good routine and be able to, get my reps in at short and be able to just focus on that. And then when it's time to – also, I won't have to, split so much time at short and then go to second. I can just work on my time at short and, get my hitting stuff done, get a good routine, and just let everything play itself out. It's a lot easier to be able to.
Fielding kind of is one of those things that it's like riding a bike. You kind of just pick it up and you go, but hitting is different, right? You have to kind of be settled in. A lot of times it takes a while for people to get going. And, there's been some different things this year. We've had COVID protocol. I know that's there's been some issues with that on the baseball team, but you, like we said, you had essentially 13 games to start the season when you didn't play. When did you really start feeling comfortable after getting into the lineup? How many games do you think it took?
Honestly, from the beginning, when I got here, just being able to work every day. And we had scrimmage, we were inter-squatting in the beginning, so that helps out. So, seeing the ball every day at the plate and be able to get a lot of reps in the cages and stuff like that, kind of, just make sure you get your reps in and just trust when you get out there that you put enough work to be able to, perform. And so I think from the beginning I felt fine because just because the inner squads and stuff, being able to see the ball. And once you get that first game rolling and get the confidence, it kind of just hits the ball rolling from there.
You guys, like I said, are 15-24 on the season, but you've won 6 out of your last 9 games. 2 of those losses against TCU, and 6 of the last 9. So you kind of got to, they're the number 10 team in the nation, so you kind of give a little bit of leeway for those games. But what has been the key to you guys playing so much better over the last couple of weeks, especially in Western Athletic Conference play?
I think more of a focus and starts in practice. Coach Mee's been having us on, making sure our focus is there with every rep we take, whether it's hitting wise, defensively, pitching. I mean, it starts from the beginning. And just in practice, making sure we're in focus with everything. And I think that's really helped us out.
What's it like playing for Coach Mead? He's relatively new here, and I've heard a lot of good things. He's kind of he's a former pitcher, and I know for hitters sometimes that can be it can be a little bit different playing for a coach that pitched. Seems like it's always hitters that are coaches, but I think obviously he's done a good job in his time here. What's it like playing for him?
I love it. He cares a lot about us, and that's one of the main things that I can ask for as a player. A coach that really cares, and willing to fight behind us no matter what. I mean, he's a pitcher, but he has a good mind of all parts of the game. So, I mean, I like talking the game with him a lot of times. We have our conversations, and he has a good IQ of everything. So, I mean, it's fun. I'm loving it.
He kind of has that aggressive. It's not necessarily a pitcher's attitude. I think I've heard a lot of people say that he's a very aggressive. It's almost like at times it feels like a football instinct. You know what I mean? Where you're really, aggressive and hard going. I heard a lot of different people say that for sure. Let's talk about you a little bit off the field. We've talked about some of the on-field things, some of the accomplishments you've had this year. What do you like to do off the field? If you had if it was your birthday and you got to pick whatever you're going to do today, what would Bryan Aguilar want to go do?
100%. I'm taking up some of the people from the family, a couple of my boys, and I'm going to thin air. I like going to those. It's a trampoline park, and they got basketball courts, like little amusement things where you just run through. And
You having a dodgeball game or maybe a dunk contest on the trampolines?
You will 100% find me the dodgeball one.
Now, doing the dunk contest where you throw it off the wall and then dunk it or reverse it off the trampolines?
I always get scared with the dunking one. I always see like the little things in the middle, because in the dodgeball one they don't have like where it splits the courts.
Yeah.
And the basketball, I always had this like idea or thought that my foot is just gonna slip through the thing. Oh man.
You can have birthday parties at those places like that. One of my kids had one time. It's pretty fun. You should try that. Your birthday doesn't take place during the season though, does it? Those things are kind of dangerous.
No, it's in the fall, November 4th.
Well, that checks out then. You mentioned your family just a second ago. We talked a little bit earlier. You're very close with your brother. Can you tell me about that relationship?
That's my little mini me. My little brother is actually a YouTuber. He does Twitch. He's really good at everything. I mean, that's my everything. That's why I keep going, and I love that guy. He's a freshman in high school. That's a long way to. I love him.
Well, that's awesome that you're mentoring. Sounds like you're mentoring him. Is he a baseball player?
He does. He plays baseball. He plays a little bit of basketball. He really does it all, honestly.
Well, if you're a freshman in high school, right, you shouldn't narrow your vision yet. You don't have to do that yet. It's good to kind of get a mix of a little bit of everything. So that's good to hear.
Also, I was gonna say, you asked me about the hobbies. And
oh yeah.
I was thinking like, I mean, I do like playing video games, but most of the time I play video games is with him, and it's just not even fair. Honestly, he blows me out the water with every game.
Well,
games you
hey,
know.
don't feel bad then. You'll have something in common with the hitter of the week in in the Western Athletic Conference this week, London Green. I think he got beat 70-0, if I remember correctly, to one of the softball ladies in the Madden tournament earlier this year. So
London?
did you hear about that?
London? London?
Yes, he
No
got beat.
way.
He got literally beat like 70-0. I think it was Julia Werner, the pitcher, smoked
Oh
him
my God.
in Madden. Yeah, you'll have to give him a hard time about that for sure.
London, I'm not surprised, man.
He may never live that down. I think I've talked with baseball players about that every time on To the Point, including him when I had him on earlier this year. Well, hey Bryan, we really appreciate the time today. It was fun getting to know you a little bit better. And best of luck. Got a big series coming up this weekend. You guys will take on New Mexico State. That ought to be a big series. What are you looking forward to in that series this weekend? You know much about them yet?
I don't, but I just know it's going to be fun playing with these guys and playing with every man. It's a blast out there, especially when we're going on a good stretch right now. I'm looking forward to it. Just all the guys, we just have fun and play ball.
Well, it's been fun watching you to this point for sure. Keep up the good work and stay safe, okay?
I appreciate it. You have a good one.